This video is going to go over what are the 6 best sniper support weapons after the Season 2 Reloaded update. If you do enjoy content like this, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 50k subscribers. Click that link in the description down below and subscribe to our second channel. But our main focus for this video is sniper support weapons, so this is guns that you can actually pair with sniper rifles. Now first of all, sniper rifles did get a huge buff with this recent update. The flinch resistance on all of the sniper attachments. That's for Vanguard as well as the Cold War sniper rifles as well. So if you do check right here for the rear grips, the airborne elastic, the drop shot, the field tape, the polymer grip, the SARS jungle grip, well the polymer grips for the Vanguard snipers, but overall they have fixed the flinch resistance for these attachments which have been broken for quite some time now. So this is going to make sniper rifles way more viable. And also, as you can see here as well, they've made a tweet saying that they have fixed the issue where the headshot damage on sniper rifles wasn't actually giving you a one-hit kill in standard battle royale. So they now fixed that. That was an issue that took place yesterday with the Season Reloaded update. But let's get into the TTKs for these sniper support weapons. So we do have assault rifles here. We've also got the SMGs, as these are two of the main categories where sniper support weapons will be coming from. And the main focus for the kind of assault rifle part would be the close range TTK as well as a long range TTK. And the same will go for SMGs as well. You need a good balance of both, especially for a sniper support weapon like this. And then also low recoil comes into it as well, because that is a huge factor too. But like I said, what we're going to do is arrange it for close range TTK first, and then we're going to try and match up those long range TTKs to see what we've got here. So first of all, we've got the AS-44. Now this is just one of the fastest killing guns in the entire game, so overall it's going to be a solid option if you build it correctly. Now obviously you're not going to get the best recoil control out of this gun, so the main reason to use this is for that close range TTK. AS-FAL is solid, but even with the recoil, it's not the fastest killing gun, plus the mags are not ideal. You're definitely still better off with the AS-44. You've got the Grav, which is quite surprising, and it's got a pretty solid long range TTK as well, so the Grav could be a solid sniper support option. Then we've got the Volk, which has very low recoil. The close range TTK is very good. The long range TTK isn't so great, but as a sniper support, we're mainly focusing on this first damage range anyway, so that's quite handy to know. Then we've got the Owen, which fires way too slow to be a sniper support weapon. We've got the FFAR1. The Cooper Carbine is also a solid option too. Next up, we have the SMGs, and this is probably going to be the most popular category when it comes to sniper support weapons. That's because the movement overall is just a lot better with SMGs, but we mainly want to focus on that second damage range because the first damage drop-off for most SMGs is right around 10 to 15 meters, and most of your gunfights with the sniper support weapon will be between 20 to 40 meters, so definitely just keep that in mind when you're picking a weapon here. That's why we're focusing mainly on that long range setting. So third damage ranges might be a bit of an issue as well, because if the third damage range takes place around about 40 meters or 30 meters, then again it's not going to be an ideal sniper support weapon. But in the case of the Owen gun, it does have a really solid close and medium range TTK, so it could still be a really good sniper support weapon. Then we've got the Vanguard PPSh. Now I don't really think this is a good sniper support weapon because the main build for this is basically a hipfire build and is not going to allow you to use it in those longer distances. Then we've got the Armaguerra, which I do think is a solid sniper support weapon. Tech 9 is pretty good as well. It's just it's not my kind of favorite weapon to use, and I don't think it's ideal because you are wasting an attachment just to get that fully automatic muzzle on there, so it's not completely ideal. War PPSh has been a really solid sniper support weapon for a long time, and it's still up there. Well gun with the drum mags, still a solid option as well, as you can see. Then we've got the Uzi with the 80 rounds. The Mac 10 is also a solid option too, because it's not got that extra damage drop-off point. Also, I do want to quickly point out is I have updated all the TTKs on this from the sim.gg website. They have actually got the Armaguerra and the well gun updated on there as well. So let's get into what I think are the best 6 sniper support weapons, and we've started off with the Volk. Because it is an assault rifle, it's actually got a pretty solid damage range for the first damage drop-off point, which is pretty good. The TTK in that range is really good as well. And to be fair, the TTK that you saw on the spreadsheet is actually not going to be as fast as this build right here, because the 45 Russian short mags actually give you a faster TTK, and then on top of that we added the recoil booster, and the build that we actually had on the spreadsheet is more of a long range build, so you're actually going to get an even faster TTK with this build right here, especially in that close range. But keep in mind you will be getting a little bit more recoil, so you want to use the recoil booster, you want to use the Krosnik barrel to get the best possible recoil control, slate reflector or whatever optic you like. I would go for the converted stock, and that's just for the better movement speeds. But if you do want a bit more recoil control, then you can go for one of the other ones, for example the Krosnik. Then I chose Perfectionist as the perk, and that is just because you get a bit more recoil control, especially that we want to get a bit more movement in this weapon as well. We're using on hand because jgod's actually done some testing showing that on hand actually gives you a slightly faster aim down sight time. Then when it comes to the grip, we're using the polymer grip to control the recoil as much as possible. Like I said, this is going to have a bit more recoil than the long range build for this gun. Then we're using the Russian short 45 round drum mags, and that is because it's going to give you the fastest possible TTK with this gun, and that is kind of what we're looking for. Then we've got lengthened, which is the best ammunition type at the moment. There is no reason to use anything else. And then we're using the hand stopped under barrel. If you do want something a little bit faster, then the skeletal under barrel will be a solid option as well. Next up, we have the Cold War FFAR. Now, I do think the FFAR is a solid sniper support weapon in this game, and it's currently my personal favourite. I wish the ADS was a little bit quicker on this gun, and it would make it a way better option. But currently, it's got a slightly slower ADS than I would like, but still with this build right here is a solid option for sniper support. It just covers both ranges really well, and the iron sights are super clean, and is basically like an SMG AR hybrid weapon, which is obviously what we're looking for here. So muzzle, we're using the standard suppressor so we don't get any ADS cons with this weapon. You also get sprint to fire bonuses. We're using the Tiger Team Spotlight for faster movement speeds. We're using the Bruiser Grip for faster movement speeds and better hip fire accuracy as well. Then we're using the 50 round mags to get the biggest magazine capacity. You could also use the fast mags, but it cons your ADS way more. And then we're using the Serpent Wrap for a faster ADS time here as well. But overall, this is one of my favourite sniper support guns to use at the moment. Next up, we have the AS-44. Now, the AS-44 is one of the fastest killing guns in the entire game, so that's why it kind of has to make this list at the moment. But it's not probably one of the ones that are going to allow you to cover multiple ranges. It's mainly just for that close range TTK, and we're building it mainly for that. So you want to use the recoil booster for the faster fire rate. You also want to use the Falcon or the Falchion barrel, and that's going to give you a faster fire rate as well, and therefore give you the fastest possible TTK. The 60 round mags is more than enough to give you that fast TTK. You don't really need any of these other mags here. Then we've got lengthened, the hand stop under barrel to give you recoil control, polymer grip for more recoil control because you're going to need it, gung ho so you can actually run around and actually shoot people with hip fire with this gun. Now you could make a hip fire build if you wanted to as well. Then we've got fully loaded as well, but you could also use on hand if you really wanted to. That gives you a slightly faster ADS. And then we've got the remove stock and then any optic you prefer. I do think the slight reflector is a solid option for this weapon. But like I said, we're mainly using this for the overall TTKs of the weapon. It's not going to have that recoil control. Next up, we have the Owen gun, and we have changed this build slightly from our SMG video yesterday because we are looking to use this gun at slightly longer ranges. Now, it does have that third damage drop-off point as well, so you need to keep that in mind. It's not going to be the most ideal sniper support weapon, but overall, it's still a solid option. So you do want to use the recoil booster regardless because it's going to give you that faster possible TTK. 72 round drum mags is an absolute must for this weapon as well. You do need that TTK with the weapon. Everything else is pretty much the same, besides we're using the polymer grip here instead of using the fabric grip, for example, for the better ADS times. So the polymer grip is going to help with the recoil control. You could use brace here, or you could even choose the steady perk. It doesn't really matter. Brace is just going to help you a little bit more with the recoil control. And then we're using quick as the secondary perk. When it comes to the stock, we're still using the remove stock because I still think it is the best option, even though it cons your recoil control a little bit. Next, we've got the 2.5x custom optic, and this is going to be really good for sniper support because you get the long range optic, and then when you do use the close range optic, it actually pushes the mag below the screen as well. So overall, it's going to be really handy to use this optic on the Owen gun. And then we're using the Hawkinson 305mm barrel, and that's going to con your damage a little bit when it comes to body damage, but you do get extra headshot damage because you're using this gun more accurately as well. You're more than likely to land a couple of headshots, and it's going to give you better recoil control. Next up, we do have the new Armaguerra SMG. Now, the good thing about this SMG overall is that it's got super low recoil to begin with. If you do equip the 550mm barrel, you're going to get better recoil control on top of that, which is what we will need for longer ranges. We were using the recoil booster still for that faster TTK. We're using the 60 round mags here, and that's just because we do need the larger mags, especially for those long range engagements. And the 72 round drums don't actually give you a faster TTK, even though they improve the damage. It's actually the Gawaiian short that gives you the better TTK. The only issue is that it's got a super small mag, so 60 rounds is the way to go. You do want to use Vital still to get the increased torso damage. Fabric grip's going to give you better ADS times because we don't really need the recoil control like we needed on the Owen gun, because this gun is already super low recoil. We're using the skeletal underbarrel to get the better ADS times. Again, we don't really need the recoil control because it is super low recoil anyway. We're using the folding stock, but you can actually use the standard stock as well. It's going to help a bit more with recoil. And then any optic you prefer on this weapon, but it is a solid sniper support gun. The TTKs are pretty consistent over range, but it does actually have a third damage drop off point. Last but not least, and what I think is the best sniper support option in the game right now, is the War PPSh. This gun has really good bullet velocity, clean enough iron sights that you can use at long range as well. It's got a super big magazine. Overall recoil control is pretty good as well. So this is the way I would build it. GRU suppressor to get the damage range and bullet velocity, all that good stuff. Task Force barrel to get the strafing speeds and the damage range boost. Bruiser grip. Now, if you do struggle with recoil control, you can use the Spetsnaz grip, but personally I like to have that movement speed, and the recoil control on this gun is pretty easy anyway. 71 round drums because it is the largest available, and then the Serpent Wrap to give a faster ADS time because we are using those 71 round drums, and that is the best sniper support option. The TTKs are consistent over range. It's only got 2 damage drop off points as well. So there we have it. Those are 6 of the best sniper support guns inside Warzone at the moment. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as we try to reach our goal of 50k subscribers. We'll be working on a video trying to test the flinch resistance on the sniper rifles in a future video, so stay tuned for that. And also click that link and subscribe to our second channel, and thank you very much for watching.